Hey everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Motorsport Manager, the Underdog Challenge. And today we are going back to our hometown. The Sydney Grand Prix is happening. As you can see, acceleration and top speed are both pretty important parts. So is the front wing, but we're not that great in the front wing department. Doesn't look like there'll be rain. Looks pretty dry. And apart from that, yeah, medium fuel burn, 27 laps, and soft, super soft and soft will be the compound. So interesting. Yeah, we're going down the wire here. We're basically just fighting for fifth now. As you can see, we're quite far ahead of Catano Sport. Shouldn't really be any weird shenanigans going on there. But Van Dort Racing is right behind us with just an 11-point gap. So anything can happen there still. Doesn't look like we'll ever challenge Windsor these last three races. But yeah, we're definitely fighting for fifth. And with high merit payments, it's actually incredibly important to just be as high up as possible. So let's go for that. All right. In the news then, yeah, Sharp was the best in qualifying. And we had no crashes, so that is always good. As always, Vovsky is saying that the brakes seem to be holding the team back. I think we've had this one pretty much every race for the last like 4 times or something. Every time it's about Vovsky, he always just complains about one of our parts. As always, we're going to tell him to button it. Pit crew time, 2.306 seconds. That was 0.092 slower than our season record. Very good. And yeah, Schmidt won the Singapore Grand Prix. I think in the end we got 1 point or so. 2 points, which was one more than Flores. Very nice. And we built a suspension right at the end of the last episode. Pretty good one. I think that must have been a decent upgrade over what we already have. There you go. Yeah, that's like a sizable 60 point gap, and we can also still bring it up by another 40 points, so that is very nice. I think we'll make one more at least, and then we'll probably do as many rear wings as possible until the remaining end of the season. Basically, we only have 2 time blocks left after this one, of course. So we have 17 days until the Sydney Grand Prix. Then we have a time block till the Brazilian one, and then a time block till the last race of the season. So we'll have to see. I think for now we're just gonna do this, that of course, and we could again go for a random legendary component, but that would basically mean if we don't get something useful, it would just be the same as the other one we already have. I'd rather go for the guaranteed plus 55, 21.4 days, so that right around race weekend it'll be done. Yeah, definitely not upset about that. That's a good suspension right there. Hopefully that gets us a little bit up in the points right. Well, that's a pretty decent bar. Hopefully we'll get around here. I'd love to be a mid-table team with regards to the parts that matter a bit less, like the suspension and the rear wing, but at least it shouldn't hold us back too much. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. All right, let's continue. Looks like we do have a sponsor slot already. 2 slots opened up, so let's see what we can get from that once more offers drizzle in. And our car repair was finished. I think we're just working on our gearbox. Yep, we were, but now that we have our suspension, this is only going to be our second last suspension, so that means we can basically take this one to next season. We're going to have another suspension that we also need to work on, but this one should also be as good as it can be, as we will be using it at the start of next season. Don't really need to work on any reliability, to be honest. Let's leave that as is. It's all about the performance right now. You can see here, politics vote, weight stripping is coming up. I'd love for that to pass. We'll have to see how many votes we're going to expend on that. But yeah, weight stripping is a fun little mechanic that I think the other teams will not be using as aggressively as we can. So that should be fun. Here, Stonewall Bank is what we would pick maybe normally. Just because of the home race bonus, and it has the highest bonus payment. But in this case, well, first place isn't on the docket anytime soon, especially in the next 4 races. So let's just go for Viking here. 2 million upfront is a very nice little bonus, and that brings us to almost 40 million. Gonna let this one simmer for a bit. Hopefully we get 2 more offers before the next race. And I think we buttered up Hamilton last episode, right? Yes, we did. So this guy will actually sign with us. He's designing a clothing line which adds 25%. That means, honestly, he's just not that interesting. Anyway, he's just not that great of a driver, to be honest. Probably comparable to like Wachowski. His smoothness is nice. His consistency is pretty good. Feedback, honestly, just doesn't matter that much if you have a good reserve driver. So, yeah, he's really not that great. His fitness is probably 20. It's just his dodgy neck hurting him here. But yeah, he's not that interesting, especially with a mediocre braking, mediocre cornering. Mediocre focus probably means he'll crash a bit more, especially considering he has a broken or a dodgy neck. He probably crashed very recently. All right, let's see then the other races getting ahead, and there you go. All right, skip a bit more and get to the politics vote. I think, how many votes do we have left? We have 6, so that's 7, including the one we're getting today. Let's have a look then. Okay, so 2 for, 3 against. I wish I could see their names here actually, because then I think a few people had multiple votes. If one of these guys uses multiple votes or these guys use multiple votes, that will actually impact us a little. We have 7. I'm thinking to use 3 in voting 4, and hopefully that'll be enough. Would really love for this one to go ahead. Looking pretty good for us. There you go. Okay, so actually 2 people did use multiple votes, and they were luckily on our side, because these guys had more people in total. In the end, I don't think we needed to use as many as we did. We could have just used 1 vote and we would have been fine, but that's not a risk I wanted to take, of course. So, well, 5-8, pretty good. That means we are going to be using the weight stripping mechanic next season. That should be very fun. Yeah, we're in 5th place right now, so that is better than our original, which was 7th. Pretty good. All right, let's keep on going and get to the Sydney Grand Prix. And there you go. All right, that also means our suspension is almost done, just 3 days left, and probably our parts should be pretty good right now. Yeah, the gearbox is close to max, and even the suspension is almost there at its maximum. Very good. That means whatever new parts we make, we can also immediately start working on their performance, which is of course what we want. All right then, the race report. For Sydney, it looks like a 27 lap race, 1.27 minutes per race, so that is actually quite a long lap time. So that means we'll probably not do too well in qualifying. 40% chance of rain, so let's keep an eye on that. Something about low speed corners, which is not where we're good. And yeah, the super softs and softs will be what we're using. Depending on the temperature, we might try and use triple super soft. I think usually with our tire level, it's going to be very tight though to make super softs work. And I'm assuming we'll get something like 8 to 9 laps per driver, probably 9 usually it is. So we should be able to make 27 work in that case. And usually Sydney is pretty warm, I suppose. Don't know what time of the year is it. I've never been to Australia. It's October, so that would be winter in most, at least in Europe where I live. Well, let's see if it's winter there over. No, it would be summer, right, in Sydney. It mirrors. Let's take this one. That's 1 million. I think that's pretty good anyway. 600,000 normally, maybe we can get 7. I don't mind too much. Let's just get 600. We haven't really been getting our race bonuses, I think, lately, so, well, let's see. 8, 4. As always, we're gonna try to make supers work, but let's see. Maybe we'll have to do a regular soft. I'm not sure. Honestly, it's gonna depend on how warm it is in Sydney. I hope pretty warm. That would make it easier for us to conserve our tires. And then we can definitely make just some supers work. But let's see. There we go. Towards beautiful Sydney. And I think last time we were here, we had a monsoon happening, actually. So it doesn't look like we'll get that this time. That was crazy. We had to worry more, I think, about our drivers actually finishing the race than getting great results. But let's see how we do here now that it appears to be quite nice and sunny. All right, that is looking pretty good. No snow anywhere, so I assume it's pretty warm. No rain predicted, and wow, 4 degrees. Okay, so it is winter as well in Sydney, even in October. That can't be right, can it? If any of you live in Australia or know the answer, like in October, would it be winter in Sydney? I feel like they mirror, you know, because they're like across the world. But huh, okay, interesting. That's probably not too great for our tire temperature then. That means it's gonna go down quite severely. We'll have to see. 6 to 8 for Farah. That probably means we get 8 and 10, I assume, on Tulipano and Vovsky, but let's have a look. We don't need to guess, we can just have a gander. Yeah, 8 to 10, fair enough. Alright, so on average we can do 9 laps. That means we can make 27 work. But seeing the temperature that we have right now, I'm not sure that's going to be the case. With 4 degrees, that's going to be really tough, I think, to make it work. We might have to do super soft, and then just a regular soft stint. Just to make sure that we actually make it till the end of the race without hitting our cliffs. Because I think we're going to have to go orange mode rather often, just to make sure that our tires don't hit the bottom cliff immediately. So, yeah, let's see. I think still the strategy is going to be to go on super softs for most of it, but probably the last few laps we'll have to make do with a bit of regular softs. We're okay, so be right around there maybe. Handling should stay where it is. Speed balance is way off. Let's make sure that that gets right where it needs to be. Let's try that. Oh, we're on qualifying. Let's send them out on the race trim. Same for you. 69%. Haha, the number. Very funny. Sort of the same setup for you actually. So let's keep you on your handling and let's do speed balance a little bit away. See where that gets us, and of course you need to be brought back right where you were. There you go. Same for you. Race trim, please. I really don't want to not have the tier 3 bonus on the race trim. And bring you back in again. Looks insane though, like it looks so warm over there. I think there's even people on the beaches where we just went by. We'll have a look on the next lap. I feel like I saw like umbrellas and stuff, like parasols on the beach. So, don't need that for 4 degrees, do you? That is good, excellent, and great. 91%, that's good enough for me. With long lap times, I prefer actually to just bring them in as little as possible and just get as much practice out as we can. So let's just send them out now immediately for 12 laps. Same for you, I think that looks very promising. Yes, we could be getting like slightly more, but I think this is very worth it. Car 1, Sydney. Alright. Send you out for 12 laps. Dang. Alright. Yeah, now we're just gonna let them run for a while. Try and get a tier 3 bonus on supers. And also on the race trim, of course. And then we'll bring them in for qualifying, practicing, and regular soft. Let's see how we do here. Almost halfway through, and we're not really near the tier 3 yet, so it's gonna be tough, I think, to get tier 3 on the qualifying, to be honest. But could probably bring them in. Can we? They're gonna be right around the corner here. I would love to just bring them both in. We're definitely just gonna bring Lopano in, who's gonna be first. And then we're gonna have a look. I think we're gonna have to let Farah do one more. Yeah, he's not gonna make it to the tier 3 on the super soft, so he's gonna have to stay out for one more lap. That sucks, but it's okay. Alright, for you, we're gonna put you on regular soft. You're still gonna do race trim for a little while. Make sure that we get that to tier 3. And we'll bring you out next time as well. Farah can now also come in, and we can switch him to the regular softs. There you go. I think with him, we're just going to send him out also already on the qualifying trim. Let's just let Tulipano do his thing and get that race trim to tier 3 with a last lap. There it is. And now we bring him in as well. Pretty well timed, even though I messed up at the beginning by letting them run on qualifying for too long, to be honest. Yeah. There you go. We don't need to swap your tires. You're already on softs. And let's let them both practice for a while and see where we can get. Tier 2 for qualifying would already be very welcome, but let's see what we can do. Looks pretty good. 3 minutes to go. Maybe we have a shot at making tier 3. Probably not with 2 minutes to go. You do get like an extra minute usually of testing on the last like lap, but not looking too promising, to be honest. Farah is already going to come in now as well, so we're going to have to send him back out. Let's see what we can make work, but I don't think... There you go. Immediately go out again, please. Just for like... What, just one lap. You're not going to have more fuel enough anyway. Quickly, 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 get out there. Yeah, that's not looking likely, to be honest. It's not going quick enough. That is a shame. Ah, that was so close. I think we needed like half a lap extra, and then we would have made it. So maybe if I didn't mess up at the start there, I could have made it work, but... Oh well, it is what it is. We got close enough for my taste. Super softs and qualifying trim, I assume it's not gonna rain. Nope. Looking very sunny. And let's get them out there. Take qualifying, and since it's not gonna rain, we're just gonna do as many laps as possible. Hopefully 3 at least. Usually it's a little bit hard to make that work, but let's see if we can. As always, need to get the automatic setting on immediately, and then let's let them run. Let's have a look now if we can see that beach. I really think there was like people like... Yeah, there you go. Like that's just people chilling on a nice beach. What happens? Like why is it... It's not 4 degrees, don't lie to me. And we go over the beautiful dam here. A bit of a weird dam because you don't actually see water go out, but I really like this track. I think this one and the Japanese one, they both are really cool in setup. They have their own like beautiful set pieces, lots of things going on, lots of sport fields. Going over the water twice, once with a bridge, once with a dam, is really cool. I really love the design of this too, that like the visitors could go over the bridge here and get to an actual nice beach to relax. I don't know. I think Sydney, like it's a... Maybe I'm biased because it's our hometown for our team at least, but I think it's just absolutely gorgeous. I really like this track. Alright, so pretty good time for Tulipano. He's only like 0.6 off of the top runners. Bobsky obviously didn't do as well, but let's give him another shot. Hopefully they can both improve. But I think that was a pretty good time there from Tulipano. Well, now he's like a full second behind. That's actually a bit worse. Let's see, how are our competitors doing? Flores is actually half a second behind our pace. And she's sort of on par with Wolfsky, so that's a very good sign. And I can't even see Gonzalez right here hidden behind Wolfsky's UI. So that's a good sign, at least for our race with Van Dort. They're our main competitors now, of course. We don't really care what the other teams do anymore, to be honest. Maybe Kitano, I guess we could care. But yeah, much more worried about Flores and Gonzalez. Looks like Wolfsky improved. I don't think Tulipano did, but still pretty good. That means even Wolfsky is on paper quicker than Flores, who is now improving her time. So probably going to be up there also a little. Let's hope she doesn't do too well. Was an improvement, but not by much. She shaved off like 0.1 second. All right. We have about 2 minutes left. So that should be more than enough for another outlap. As always, we need to cross the finish before the session ends, and then our lap will count. It does mean we get another try. Flores won't, because she's doing her in-lap right now. I don't think she'll make another... she'll make it for another round, so that's very good for us. Let's see if we can improve. At best, we're already ahead of her. Sorry, at worst. At best, maybe we can even scoot still into the contention for 8th. Obviously, we're not going to go for Wigdal. He's way too far ahead. That's almost 5 seconds. But pretty much 4, actually. So, doesn't look like we're going to improve here, though. That's 2 whites. And yes, that is no improvement. Shame, but 9th and 12th is pretty good here. Honestly, with our sponsor objective pretty much always being 7th, you have to account for basically, if you look at this, 4 teams are ahead of us, right? Basically Mercedes, Red Bull, Ferrari, and Windsor, which I guess is McLaren or something. Yeah, that's already the 8 drivers basically that lock up the spot, and you can see actually it lined up perfectly. Mercedes, then Ferrari, then Red Bull, and then Windsor. So yeah, it makes sense, right? That that we're not getting 8th or 7th reliably. But anyway, we should be going for the points here, and hopefully we can get some to go out ahead of Van Dort. That would already be a big accomplishment for this race, let's just say. All right. Can earn ourselves a cool 300,000 if we somehow get 7th. Let's see if we can. Gonna go for super softs and just a race trim. And same for you. Let's have a double check that Bovsky actually has the same tires. Sometimes it changes. Yep, that is 9. And for you, yep, 9. Okay, very good. Let's go push mode just to get a little bit of heat into the tires, and we'll go overtake mode on the engine and just use up a little bit of our fuel. Just for the start, of course, to make sure that we do as well as we can while the fighting is going on. And off we go. A decent start for Tulipano there, who immediately overtakes 2 people. Very nice, good start there. That's into 7th. Volsky meanwhile just stuck to his 12th spot. Gonna let, oh, that's a nice move there. Immediately up into nope, that is a very bad move, Tulipano. Bad Tulipano. Okay, that means we're gonna immediately pull you back. Tulipano ran wide there, he's in 19th now. That does mean Volsky is now actually our prime candidate for getting some points. Hopefully he can. Very unfortunate there, Tulipano ran wide there, right on the hairpin. That sucked, but very sharp turn of course, so makes sense he wouldn't do too well, but that just means we're gonna go yellow on him now. And that means we're gonna let Volsky do his thing. We're gonna have to bring back the tires though a little. And let's hope we can at least keep Flores behind. Flores also had that atrocious start actually. She's ahead of Tulipano, but that's basically everything good she's got going for her. I don't know if she ran wide or whatever she did. Here's that turn where Tulipano just went wide. This time he actually takes it decently. Good for you. Try and do that for the rest of the race, please. And Volsky's dropping a few spots doesn't... Yeah, it makes sense. Sharp obviously is going to make you drop some spots. He has a way better car. So that is to be expected. I think we can probably give you a little bit of high overtake now again as well. You have the fuel to spare. And our car sort of runs almost 1-to-1 even on orange mode thanks to its fuel efficientness. Yeah, Gonzalez and Flores at least aren't doing too great. That's good for us. Doesn't look like there's going to be any rain, so that is also pretty fine. It's not heating up either though, so that's going to be a struggle for our tires for sure. But that's just something we're going to have to deal with. I think we're going to have to go orange mode on your tires pretty soon, just to keep heat in them. There is already a 4-second gap between Volsky and Tulipano, so I definitely don't mind double stacking them. One day that's going to probably go wrong. Let's hope it's not the day. I'm going to have to also push your tires a little bit there. But we're really going to try and push for 9 laps. If it's not going to work, we're just going to go in at 8 laps, I suppose. And then we'll just do another 8-lap stint and leave the softs for a final 11-lapper. That should be fine then. Unless something changes in the weather, of course. If it does start to rain or something, then... well, then we'll have some choices to make, I suppose. Volsky is right behind Lavoyer, but holding his own. Makes sense. Lavoyer is on regular soft, so you should be at least sticking to her, even though she probably has a better car than you. We have till with super soft still 15% till we hit our cliff, so we should keep an eye on that. I think honestly we're probably just doing 2 more laps. I don't think we can last till 9, so that sucks. Does mean we're gonna have to go regular softs probably near the end of the race, but I don't really see an alternative, to be honest. Let's see. We'll keep you on yellow for now. We do have the temperature sort of to work with. We can definitely do 1 more lap after this one, but I think that's about it. Yeah. Yeah, so we'll have done 8, and that's it, unfortunately. We're not going to be able to do more than that. I think we're going to even have to orange you a little bit here just to get some heat in your tires. I think actually what we're gonna do now is we're gonna conserve you a little on your fuel. We need a bit of a gap between Tulipano and Volsky, and that's actually shrunk a little, I think. No, it's about 3 seconds still, but still, we kind of need 4 seconds. So we're gonna slow Tulipano down a little bit by conserving his fuel. At least that'll give us some resources back. You need to make sure you don't hit your cliff. Alright, and let's queue some pit stops. What is our gap right now? It is 16.3, so that is 4 seconds on the dot, basically. That should be pretty perfect unless we have a mistake. Not gonna go fast. I think we can shave off 0.4 seconds, which... yeah, that's not worth it, because we double our chance of a really bad pit mistake. If Volsky right now makes a mistake, or if his pit crew makes a mistake, that means he would also hold up Tulipano for that same amount of time. That's just not worth it to me. So let's just do a regular balanced pit stop. But we'll slow him down a little bit. Thanks to the fuel here. That's pretty good. Let's put you now back down to yellow. Let's see how he does. That's perfect. All right, good double stack there. So, well, AVO, this is just not your race, is it? But I'd much rather it happen on Tulipano than on Volsky at this point, since Volsky actually is sort of ahead of him. Which one of you messed up my tires? We can't afford those mistakes. Yeah, I fully agree. But unfortunately, this is just not your race, Tulipano. Sometimes you have some bad luck. Ooh. That is unfortunate timing. Okay, so Wolfgang Schmidt crashed. On the one hand, that's good. He was way at the top, so that gets us basically a spot on paper. On the other hand, we already just pitted. That means we're gonna be one of the few guys, basically, that had a very expensive pit stop together with Wigdal and Stramby. Everyone else is getting a very, very cheap pit. That sucks. That really sucks badly. I think actually we might do another pit just because of that, because we have 1 lap left, so it's gonna cross the finish, then do another lap. And I think at least if we pit now, we get to do a double soft. It's too long to try and go for just a single more stint. That's just not worth it. I think what we do here, we hold out for another lap. Anyway, we're way at the back, right? We're giving up no positions because we have no positions. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to wait for 1 more lap just to get as much efficiency as possible. And yes, right now we're going to queue some more pits. I don't even care about whether we're going to ruin a double stack or anything like that. Honestly, doesn't matter at all. Because we'll just be at the back of the line anyway. Yeah, basically we're getting back those 2 laps that we would have had to pit for the soft for. It's just very unfortunate timing. If it happened a little later, we would have been able to try like only 1 more soft stint or something like that. But with 16 laps remaining, I don't think that was a possibility ever. So yeah, we're gonna pit. We're gonna double stack again, but a much slower double stack this time. And at least now we should be able to easily last the rest of the race on regular soft or super soft. But this does suck. That was atrocious timing, basically. That meant we couldn't really do anything to combat this. This, I think, was our best option at the very least, but let's see, as soon as that SC disappears, we're gonna need to push like the wind. Could be already now, no? Let's just do this. We need to get some heat into the tires. We also have a bit of excess fuel, so let's use it up. I think actually we might tell Volsky now to get out of the way. Just because Tulipano, sorry, yeah. Tulipano does have more resources. So, and he has a better car, so let's hope that he'll do well with this. Honestly, it doesn't matter too much. We're just in a horrible position right now anyway. But we're gonna try. Yeah, that was about as bad of a situation as that safety car could have been. We had just pitted and then, yeah, the crash happened. So that is horrible, obviously. But it is what it is. We have our strategy set out for us. We did the best possible thing we could have with the information that we had. So it's okay. Sometimes those things happen. That is also racing, of course. We are now in 14th, so we have been steadily climbing, going past the people on the regular softs. That is very good, at least. We need to make sure that we last till 8 laps remaining. We have 13 now, so actually maybe we should be a little less harsh on the tires at some point. I think we're gonna just go orange for a little bit longer. At some point I'm gonna bring it back to yellow, just to make sure that we can make these tires last. Let's see. People pitting now, this is going to be the final pit stop. Like Lundqvist, he's definitely not pitting again. And that makes perfect sense. I think we're going to bring him down now to yellow. Make sure that we don't waste too much tire here. Obviously, we want to keep the heat up above the threshold. But we're getting overtaken again by Flores. That hurts because I really don't want to be overtaken by a driver that's on regular softs. But we're taking it sort of back. There you go. Good job to Lupano. Gonna need to put a little bit more into those tires. But we only need to do like 3 more laps on them, so that should be fine. Fosky is gonna need to push a little bit back on the fuel. Whereas Tulipano can still run orange mode. Alright, looking a bit better now. We are closing in on Gonzalez. That would be nice. But yeah, either way, as it stands, none of us are getting points. Not us, not Van Dort. I don't think they can make it work till the end of the race, especially with how cold their tires should be. I don't know, maybe they'll try, but I feel like they shouldn't be able to make it, or their tires should be really destroyed near the end and they should hit their cliff. But let's see. It'll be interesting to see what the AI does. I'm just gonna bring it back to yellow now. We need to do at least 1 more lap. 9 laps remaining. Very good. We're gonna do 1 more and then we should have 8 for the last stint, which should be pretty much perfect. Let's do a little bit of push because we're gonna come into the pits now anyway. Let's put you on the last set of super softs. We literally used every single tire set available to us. Let's get you on blue mode for a second here, because you do need to slow down a little if we're gonna make a double stack work again. Hope it doesn't go bad, though it would be very much in form for this this race so far, as we have had a lot of accidents, incidents, and unluckiness. That might have been like a 0.2 second or something delay, but honestly that wasn't too bad. Let's do yellow orange, and let's do yellow orange. Should be pretty good to see out the race this way, and yeah, hopefully this goes well. Now there's nothing to do but pray and hope that we do well. Lots of people are gonna need to pit. Hopefully we can come out ahead of some of them. Doesn't look like it though. No, there was just too much of a gap already to those guys. Yeah, that was just a really expensive pit there. As it stands, Flores and Gonzalez actually are gonna get a boatload of points. But let's see if they can hold on. They're gonna need to make those softs work for another 6 laps. They could, honestly. Their tires are going down very slowly. They need only 5 more laps to survive. Let's see. We are gaining some spots slowly, but obviously not quickly enough. Let's see. It's more interesting now to watch Gonzalez and Flores. They're on 22%. They can make it work till 15? Nah, see, they're coming into the pits. Okay, that is really good news for us. What is Flores doing? He can stay out for a little while longer, it looks like. Gonzalez definitely needed to come in. Luckily, Flores was already lower to begin with anyway. Alright, so that is at least Gonzalez out of the running for points, which is very good. Even we're going to overtake her, which is also very... Well, that's just for bragging rights, I suppose. Alright, let's watch Flores then, because she is actually our main rival now. It doesn't look like we'll be getting any points, but that's okay. She is coming into the pits for the last 2 laps. Okay, that is perfect. Probably we're going to overtake her then as well, I imagine. Which again, is just for bragging rights, but I'd be lying if I said I didn't enjoy that. we are having a bit of a rivalry with the Spanish driver. Yeah, we should definitely come out ahead of her. Don't think that was a mistake, but it was a somewhat slow pit stop, it felt like. Okay. Yeah, that's very good. At least they're finishing way below us. That's mistiming on their part, luckily, because if they timed that any better, that would have cost us a lot of points. Final lap coming in through race control. Have to pull back a little bit on the fuel here. I think we should be fine to run on orange for the rest of the race, but I don't think we're fighting for points here. Yeah, that is too big of a gap on too old of tires to really make it work, I think. We can go a little bit more fuel, but that's about it. Unfortunate. I think we were really close to some points there, but at the very least our rivals didn't gain any either. That's what I'm quite happy with. Our cars and resources are absolutely knackered. We timed the fuel pretty well. Tires are pretty much exactly on their cliffs, so we did everything we could. Actually, these guys could have gone a little bit longer on their tires, because you can go to 10% of course on the regular softs, but they already went in, I think, at 16% each. Then again, they wouldn't have lasted for another 2 laps, so that was just a bit of mistiming on their part regardless. But good for us. Luckily, they didn't get any points. Maybe we gained any spots thanks to scrutineering. Maybe someone used some illegal shenanigans. Nope. Okay. Fair enough. So no points for us, unfortunately. Sucks, but at the very least, we're not losing any either to our main rival. So that's fine. It's a shame. I think we really had a good chance of some points if that safety car came at any other time, basically. That was literally the lap that we went in to the pits. Yeah. I think Schmidt crashed. Unfortunate, but that is motor racing, and still we managed to minimize the damage. Unfortunately, that wasn't too good for our race results. We came in 9th. That's not great, is it? But doesn't cost our team marketability too much, so that's okay. We still make a cool million to bring our total above 41 million. So not bad. That is at least a good amount of money. All right. Then we have 10 days till the Rio de Janeiro Grand Prix, which will be 28 laps. That should be an interesting one. Looks like it'll rain during it as well. Not during, yeah, actually during the whole weekend. So that'll be interesting. Yeah, for now, I think that is enough. I'll see if, yeah, we'll have to see how quick we can wrap up the season. There's 2 more races. We have a few more parts to build, but not too much. So that should be great fun, and then we'll get into the next season rather soon. And hopefully one where we can even try and challenge the traditional top 4. That would be a lot of fun, I think. So let's see. Alright, for now I think that is more than enough. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I very much enjoyed playing it. Thank you as always so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.